I've tried to make this video so many times, I can't even remember like what I've said already. So if I backtrack sometimes, I'm sorry. I'm sorry again because this video should have been out long ago, but I just can't make it where I'm happy. But the time has come that I just need to eventually make a video because it's almost been a year since I promised it. Last year for Thankmas, I said if we hit $1,000, I would match it, and then also I would make a video about how I got my name. We crushed it. I think overall we raised $2,500. We were like the 14th ranked campaign for Thankmas. I'm super proud. It turned out great. This video, I said I wanted to make it like a Draw My Life, like Markiplier.
I was 10 pounds and 3 ounces, and therefore they named me Mark.
Or make it like a cool, super video cutted thing like you see like, I don't know, on the podcast they do.
To film these bats as they were flying out of the cave.
But I just couldn't make one make me happy. So we're just doing it because I fucking owe it to you guys. To tease you a little bit, like when people get names in the service, a lot of times it's like an inside joke from something that happened, right? So when you think like, especially they say this like with pilots, when they have like their code name, Maverick and Rooster and stuff like that, like.
You don't get to pick it, and usually you don't like it. That's why it sticks.
It's like more of an inside joke of sorts. And that's kind of what mine is too. When after high school, I joined the Marine Corps. I was aviation ordnance, which meant I got to assemble bombs basically for Iowa, specifically F-18s.
We build the bombs that go onto the aircraft.
So just go ahead and slide it down a little bit.
We don't just do bombs, we do missiles. We manage and deliver the big, high-caliber rounds that fire out of most of the aircrafts in our fleet.
I was stationed overseas in Japan for most of my time. The thing is, so I go by Ryb ever since then, but my last name's Rybicki, and Ryb became the short for it. But if you notice, I said Rybicki, like it should be Rib. When I was in training in Pensacola, where a lot of like your first part of schools are for aviation jobs. So there was like this Lance Corporal girl who was like the deck leader, and we had to do like roll call and make sure we're at these field day meetings and stuff. And she'd always call me Rafiki, like the monkey from frickin' Lion King.
Nope, wrong again.
And like a lot of people struggle with my name, and I thought it read pretty straightforward, I guess. I don't know. And eventually I just got like, it's Rybicki. Rybicki. It's not, it's Rybicki is how you say it, like rib. So I kind of sealed my own fate with that one. Eventually everyone just called me Ryb, right? Just for short. When I got to Japan, I got really lucky. Most jobs, including aviation ordinances, you have like sub jobs within the job. You have jobs like, unfortunately, like paperwork stuff, where you get stuck in like the main office where you're like talking to the other squadrons and stuff. You also have something called Aussie, which is like support equipment, which is like the stuff that holds the bombs and like trailers that move them. And then you got gun shop, because we did the guns too. So they maintenance the guns and repair them. And I was rack shop also, which racks are like the things that drop the bombs off the planes. And the ammunitions, which is straight up like my job was to go practice building bombs and then go places and build bombs. It's cool. It's like the job that most people like, that's what you want. I was like 2 years into my career, like a Lance Corporal. I just come back from like my second, I don't know if I can say it, but mini deployment from somewhere. Det, once again, I wasn't in like combat, but most of us is like we train with other countries and we're kind of just hanging out. We're like protecting Japan, but we're mostly just like watching the area. North Korea was kind of extra crazy at the time.
I don't need my father. I am strong.
Anyway, I just come back from another country. It's like February time frame, and they want me to go like off to the next one. I'm going for like 3 or 4 months in another country. Every year you have to do yearly training. So you have stuff, the gas chamber you have to do every year.
Close your eyes, hold your breath. Try to see your mask. Gonna go.
It's been so long. The gas chamber, you do your combat fitness test or your physical fitness test, depending on the time of the year.
Let's go.
I was trying to get my McMap belt up higher, which is like your combat, or your, not combat, what do you call it? The martial arts that the Marine Corps does. Combination of a bunch of military or martial arts into one, like made for people to fight with flak jackets and stuff on. It's kind of cool. Also, I had to go to the rifle range. So the thing, and I don't remember if this is like everywhere, but in Japan, the rifle range is in Okinawa. And so you have to travel there. And so you do a week of training, and then the next week they fly you to the rifle range there, and you spend a week shooting at targets and stuff. And the score is important. It's what helps you get like promotions and whatnot. I had shot well in boot camp. I was an expert. It's kind of weird because they fly people and it costs money. They send like the lesser shooters first. So like I actually didn't have to go the second year because I shot well enough, but now like they want me to go this time to prove I can stay an expert. The story starts here. I was getting ready to go to Grass Week, which is this, like I said, week-long practice for the rifle range, okay? I guess we start the night before. So, just for irony's sakes. So, like, everyone does it. I didn't do it enough. I'm sad because looking back, I wish I'd done it more. But, like, most of us take, like, motard, like, stupid-ass photos. You see him, the guy with the rifles in the air at MCT and stuff. And it's just, like, you're all Call of Duty'd out and it just feels cool. And, like, I don't use my weapon ever. So, like, you know, you just get to use it for a minute and just get to play, you know. I remember the night before, you're supposed to, you know, get my stuff ready. I got my flak jacket, which is like this, it's your body armor, right? Looks just like that. It has these little like doodads on it that are what you tie things to. There's like little strap spots. Backpacks and stuff have them. Kind of like look like little loops. They go all the way around. Give me 1 second. It's something like that. They go like all the way. They're on the front and the back of them. We had the older style too because we're not like in Afghanistan, right? So then, like they have new ones kind of like drop over you and there's side stuff for your sappy plates. Ours was just front and back. And so in these little clips, you just like hang stuff for like quick grabs. So I had like, and they issue all this stuff you never use, and then you like somehow lose it or never use it, and it's dirty. So now you can't return it and it costs you money. That's a whole other conversation. But they give you all this stuff you don't need, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna put it on because I want it on there when I go to friggin' Grass Week. So they got like this thing called like a strap cutter. It's like a knife with a hook on it so you can like pull through. You got like your magazine pouches, which you can hang, and you know, you've seen that. I mean, if you watched a freaking any cop movie or any military movie, they got them hanging on there. You got your grenade pouches. You know, like I don't have grenades, but I have the pouches to put them in, right? And then also you have a thing called an IFAK, which is a med kit box bag thing. It's got stuff like Quick Clock in it, which is like this powder that reacts to your blood and like burns you shut so you don't bleed out. And whatever else in it, gauze and stuff. Anyway, so I'm just like kind of doing the thing, just kind of feeling good, have it on. And then, like as I always do, is when I feel good, instantly like shame hits me, like stop, you're being an idiot. You're not a grunt, you're not fucking, like take this shit off. so I take it all off and I have my empty, naked flak jacket, my Kevlar, the helmet, and I don't even know if I had anything else, but I'm just ready to go for the next day. It's weird. I guess like people don't realize this. Also, we don't carry our rifles around base all the time, right? Like there's cops, there's PMO, Provost Marshal, whatever. They're like military cops. Like they get their weapons. Everybody else doesn't have their weapons on base. So you have the armory, and so we're supposed to meet at the armory. I don't remember. It was like fucking 4 o'clock in the morning or something to go get our rifles. And so you have like literally it's a little cardboard card, and it has your name and a rifle number on it, and you have those all the time, and you trade them to the armory so that you can then get your rifle. And so we went to the armory, picked up our rifles, and then Iwakuni is a small base. I think it's like 3 miles round. Tiny base. So we're probably, if I remember right, a couple 100 feet from like the schoolhouse building we're going to use. I'll draw a quick picture to kind of like put a thought in your head. So somewhere over right? We're going to call this the armory for A, right? There's, I don't know, a road that goes around base. I don't remember the distance from here to Like, I don't think it's very far. but you might have to go down the road a little bit. That doesn't even really matter. Anyway, we marched from there to where the story takes place. And so, if I remember right, there's like a building here. This is where the schoolroom's going to take place. It attaches to something like here, which I think the pistol range is in here. Not everyone gets to be pistol qualled. You get to be pistol qualled if you're, well, a pistol coach, which is like a cool thing you get to do. Like, I didn't get to do it. A couple of my friends were. I think if you're a staff NCO, you get to be pistol qualled. And then if you're like a chaplain or something, like there's a few. But anyway, so this is like our cool new like pistol range or something, I think. Who knows? I wasn't in there. But anyway, it's over here. And then in here's like the classroom with a bunch of little desks. I'm gonna say there's probably like 15 of us, maybe? I don't know. More chairs than that. And then here is like this is like a grassy area. There's the grassy area outside. There's like a brick wall here. And like here's like an exit out into the rest of base. And then there's like I said, all of this that goes to the road, so you can go either way. So that gives you kind of like a map of where this whole story goes down, okay? And so we march back and we all meet up in said classroom, okay? So you have the classroom, we get in there, we're told, hey, hang your rifles on the wall. There's a bunch of hooks on the right side of the room. We hang our rifles up. You like lock in so you know which one yours is. Because your rifle card is, you better have your rifle to turn back in. And then we're all sitting in class, and it's like 3 hours of weapon safety. They teach you, like how to like look down. So like you have on the back of your rifle, you've got like two sights, right? Like this is the fucking dumbest fucking gun ever. But anyway, on the front, you've got your front sight post, and then on the back, you have like your carrying handle. And there's like this little thing that has a hole, your rear sight. And so you look through the hole to aim it up with your front sight post. And it's like them teaching you like how to look. And I think now they use ACOGs, so like they don't even use that. Now it's like Kentucky windage. Now you have you're like, well, I mean, you guys are all gamers, you have your freaking this kind of thing now, and you just like Kentucky windage and aim. But back then you had to like turn, or you had to shoot and then adjust and hit. But anyway, they're teaching you like how to like aim and like line stuff up. They're cheating you. It's called treat, never, keep. You treat every weapon as if it's loaded. You never point your weapon at something you don't intend to shoot. Keep your weapon on safe, and then keep your finger straightened off the trigger until you're ready to fire. Basic weapon rules, so we don't shoot each other, right? But that's like all in preparation. Like I said, we don't have bullets or anything like this. We're just gonna beat these things into our head, and then we're also gonna practice getting to your firing positions, because you also have, God, it's been so long. So you have 4 firing positions, and you shoot from, I forget, like the 50, the 100, maybe it's the 100, I think you shoot from 100 out, 300, and then 500 yards out. And then you also have another thing called Table 2, which is supposed to be more like combat quick shooting, and you're only like 50 yards or something out for that one. So the combat shooting's like more, well, combat, right? But you're shooting for points. So we shoot in ways that you don't normally like shoot, right? You're trying to be as precise as you can so you get more points, you get promoted. It's like how it works. So you have your standing position, you have a high, I hope they're not crucifying me if I'm wrong. You have like a high kneeling position. You have a like seated position, Or if I remember right, your knees here, your other leg's kind of bent under. Because then you're like resting your elbow. This is like actually like my favorite one to shoot at, but the idea of this looks awful. But anyway, it's a weird seated position. I'll put a picture in here. But anyway, the idea is you're using your body to hold the weapon. So like your bones shouldn't move when you're in this spot. So like you rest your elbow on your knee, and when you breathe out and you don't breathe in and talk and stuff, like your weapon's not going to move. So then if you carefully pull the trigger, like it should go exactly like what it's supposed to do. Oh, and then you also have prone. You have prone, right? Straight leg, bent. Anyway, I can't draw. And so you practice these things also. We took like a 2-hour like death by PowerPoint, learn all this stuff, relearn this stuff, because we've been trained, so you should know this stuff. The instructor, which one of them was one of my sergeants anyway from Ordnance, was like, hey, we're going to, hit the head, which is the bathroom, smoke if you need to, whatever you're going to do. We're going to grab your rifles, and we're going to meet up outside in 20 minutes in that grassy spot I drew, and we're going to do a thing called snapping in. And snapping in is where you practice this stuff, all right? And so we're going to practice getting into these positions, okay? Let me draw a picture here. So when you snap in, a lot of times on Marine Corps bases, you'll see these barrels. And what the barrel is it's a target to practice aiming at for when you're at the range. And so I should have also said, I'll draw it at the top, I guess, like you've got different targets that you're going to see during different parts. And I don't remember the names, but one's called like a dog target. And I think it's supposed to look like a dude, like at prone, right? Like he's like laying down, shooting back at you. Anyway, it's like a little whatever, one of those. Then you have like your standard, like one you think of when you see a target with like a dude's face and like whatever, shoulder, like it's like the target. And so anyway, like on this barrel, really small, are these things like drawn all over the place, right? Like they're just all over. And the idea is that when, I don't even know if they're in a fucking like an order that matters, but anyway, just something like that, right? The idea is that when you're like 20 feet from this thing, right, and you're looking down through your sights, the size that you see this tiny little fucking shape at is about the same that it'll look at to you at 500 yards out, when you're laying prone, okay? I bet there's a system to it. Like the top one's 100, middle one's a little bit smaller. Like I don't remember, but it's something like that. So anyway, it's a thing to aim at. And so Sergeant told us, hey, grab your rifles, come outside, and you're going to form a semicircle around this barrel. And, you can practice your shooting positions independently, and then we will go through them together. Hey, as I said, I'm gonna be hopping in and out because I did this all in one take, so I forgot some things. So one thing I want to say too, it's pretty common to do the semicircle thing, but also I've done in places where you do a full circle around the barrel, which in hindsight, maybe not the best idea. And so I had walked out, and I'm somewhere like right here, okay? And I forgot to mention that two of my workmates were with me. They also were going through training with us, so it was 3 orties. I don't know if I can use their names, so I'm not going to. I'm going to call them, we're gonna call one Claire, and the other one James. Claire and James see me come over here because I went to the head, and I'm starting to like get ready, and James is like here, and Claire's here on the end, and then there's just a bunch of random Marines that I don't know everywhere else, right? And so Claire yells at me and says, hey, Ryb, come over here. This is the ordnance lucky spot. I don't know what's lucky about it. I don't know why we need luck. but I'm like, for sure. And so Ryb comes here, all right? And so we're gonna top down it. Barrel. Oh, I drew that barrel way too big. Whatever, it doesn't matter. How far away from this thing, we're really, I mean, it's closer than you would think we are. We're probably 10 yards off of this thing, like if that helps give you anything, right? And so we're just, the rest of the people don't really matter. So there's James, I forgot his name already, me, Claire. And it's weird. This is like where the story gets weird here. For some reason, I remember sitting there and I was like, hey, Claire, like switch spots with me. I get chills like thinking about it. And she's like, why? And I was like, I don't know, like switch spots with me. And she's like, oh, fine, whatever. And so we switched spots, okay? Once again, I don't know why I wanted to. It's one of the like weird things about this story. But anyway, it is now Claire, Ryb, James. So you've got your rifle. There's like a magazine hole. There's your rifle, whatever, a buttstock, an awful carrying handle, whatever. Anyway, there's like a little metal thing here, and I think here. And so you've got different types of slings, and the 3-point slings and shit are cool. That's the one that like when people are in the movies like carrying and stuff, like it hangs from you, they can drop it, it like swings at their side. That's not what we have, okay? We have, I think we call them a loop swing. And so it's like your traditional, like it clicks on here and it goes down and around like this, okay? And I think there's perhaps like a little metal buckle or something like right here. And so the interesting thing about it is it's not fucking worthless, okay? Because you can still sling it, I guess. You don't really do that, but you can still sling it. But what you do is you use this, you actually take it off and you use this little sling to make a like a hole that then also like attaches. I might have that backwards. It might be back here. But anyway, like this part still is just like stuck to the end of your rifle, and then you shove your hand through the hole, and you take it and you put it like you stick your, and it comes all the way up here. And the point of it, you have like on your sleeves of your cami, I'm sure you've seen them. There's like a pocket here, and honestly, most of the time you don't use the pocket. There's a cuff, here's a hand. This is mute point. But this pocket, you really don't do shit with it. But during this moment, you put something in it, and this sling wraps around your arm here. Kind of like tight too, like you want like a tourniquet, and the point of it is that it forces the rifle into your fucking shoulder. And that's part of that whole, like, it's not what you do when you fight people, but when you're shooting for points, the steadier you are, the better you're gonna shoot. You use that, and then you use like breath control and trigger control and your bones to really just lock in, because you don't have a table to always shoot on, right? And so I was in a half like kneeling position, kind of like this like knee-high one. I guess if I'm gonna draw it, I might as well draw it right. I usually like act this stuff out. So probably like I've got my left knee up, kind of like this. My other knee's kind of bent. It's kind of close to like, it's like a half modified position. And I'm kind of sitting like this. And I'm trying to put my cell phone, actually. I've got like the iPhone 4 time-wise this anyway. I'm trying to put it in my pocket because then it will hold the loop sling up, right? And so I'm just tucking like my cell phone in and snugging it up, and a fucking loud bang goes off. Just a fucking bang, and my leg jolts backwards. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? Like what just happened? And I'm sitting there and I'm like, man, like that was a fucking gunshot. Like what fucking happened? And then fucking Claire screams. And I remember like just incredible pain. And I remember my leg like twisting and then I'm falling to the ground. And so little Ryb is now laying on his back right here, gun pointing straight up in the fucking scare because this fucking arm's stuck. And I had just gotten fucking shot. What had happened was this goober over here, the only person that could, decided to load and make ready his rifle, which was never instructed. was never instructed. Fucking so many things went wrong. He loaded his rifle, which we don't know where the fuck a bullet came from, why he put a magazine in, why he pulled the charging handle back, because you got to do that to fucking pull a bullet up, and then you fucking send the bolt home, which like readies the ammo into it, and then took the weapon off of safe, and then decided to fucking shoot, and the fucker shot through the barrel and into my leg while I was getting ready to practice pretend shooting while this fucker's real shooting, right? I get chills thinking about me. I can like imagine this shit I mean, I've lived it. Literally the only person that could, because remember, this is, all right, I just didn't ruin this picture a whole lot. This is essentially like everybody else would have shot this fucking wall if this had happened. But because me and Claire switched spots, we have become, we're gonna call him dipshit, which is fine. but anyway, fucking, like, he's literally the only one that can do it. Hey, me again. I just want to make sure I say something here too, because the voice sounded weird to me. I am so very happy it was me too. Like, especially as this story progresses and like how terribly things go. I am just so glad that whatever little noise in my head that told me to switch spots did, because fuck me, man, if it had been Claire instead, like I would just feel awful, and I don't know, I would have probably reacted as terribly as everybody else did. So like, once again, I'm so glad. Also, that IFAK I put on me would have been very helpful right now. Too bad I put it back in my room. Anyway, back to me. And so this is where, like, I don't even, like, so much stuff just went wrong from this moment on, man. Like, chaos. Like, really, like, we're in Japan, you know? Like, we're not fighting the Afghanis or anything. Like, this shit don't happen. We're in a place where nobody's supposed to have bullets. A gun just went off. There might be multiple casualties, maybe. I'll explain that in a second. Like, everyone's in kind of fucking disarray, which is not a good look. It's not a reason, like, the story kind of gives the Marine Corps bad luck. I still love the Corps, man. Like, this shit happens, unfortunately. So I fell back, and when I fell back, apparently I fell back so, like, fast, I, like, bitch slapped Claire with my fucking rifle, which, I mean, that shit was, like, locked, so if I fell, like, I could see that it hurting a lot. I don't really recall ever even asking how that worked. I'm sure it just was like a bruise or something. But anyway, like, there was a lot of disarray on this side, right? And I'm laying there, man, and I mean, I can like picture the sky. I mean, it's a pretty beautiful blue day, really. I mean, there's just clouds rolling across the sky. There's panic in the air, you know, there's screaming. And I'm looking up and I'm just like, dude, I'm gonna fucking die in Japan. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, how? Like, I was gonna change the world somehow, and this is this is how my story ends, man. And I remember laying there, and like, so Riddle, play with me here, man. Like, time doesn't make sense during this. Like, like when I leg jerked back and I shot, I felt like there was like a good 10 seconds of me being like, what happened? What the fuck was that? And then like it hurt, like it probably happened like that in like real time. I don't know. But anyway, I'm laying here for what feels like 2 eternities. No one's coming to save me. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck it, Nate, Ryb. We got to do this ourselves, right? Like, this is like, nobody's going to save us. Like, I mean, we got to do it. It can't be that hard. So I'm not an artist, okay? I just get the kick with graphs. So I like go to like sit myself up, and I get a view of my leg here. There's the wall, and I'm like, I gotta tourniquet myself, you know, like I gotta stop the bleeding. I got shot above the knee. Like I gotta stop it, or I'm gonna fucking die. And I look down, and there's just, you know, just a bloody mess right here in my leg, and just excruciating pain. So I, as any heroic lad does, fall back, and I'm looking back at the sky, and I'm like, I'm gonna fucking die. This is it. Like, this is it. Like, I can't. Oh, that hurts so bad. Oh God. Oh, I can't do it. And so I kind of more or less just accept my fate. I just lay there, and I'm like, this is how I fucking die. Like, I don't fucking know, man. And I just remember looking up like this. So I want to say something. I think it should go without saying, but I know there's gonna be like 2 fuckers in the comments are like, oh, what a pussy or some shit. Like, listen, like, I had no adrenaline going, my man. Like, you know, this story takes me eventually to the Wounded Warrior Battalion, where I meet like real fucking heroes, and a lot of them have been shot several times, if anything. And like, I remember talking to them, like, man, like, I just felt like a sting or something. Like, in it, like, your body's pumping and stuff. Like, mine was not. You know, I was looking at my cell phone going into my pocket. So cut me some slack. It hurt a lot. All right. So back to the story. Some time passes again. Once again, I don't know, probably a few seconds, but soon I've got 2 guys over me. I don't remember the direction in which they came, but I've got a Navy guy. He come up to me. He was actually, so he's one of the guys that protects a chaplain, turns out. That's why he was at the rifle range with us. I should even pay attention that he was with us, to be honest. Because if I remember right, he was wearing like Marine Corps camis. It just said like Navy instead of Marines on it. And he comes up and he like grabs my hand. And he's like, hey man, like, fuck, like, we're gonna get you out of this. Like, you'll be okay. And I'm like, all right, man, like, cool. Appreciate it, you know? At the same time-ish, give or take, a sergeant from, I don't know if you remember that map, from like over elsewhere, like over here somewhere, had come running. He was smoking a cigarette, I guess, at the time, and like saw it happen from over there. And so, like, once again, time frame wise, like, probably not that long, because he ran over and helped me. So, like, I don't know, but it must have felt like forever. And so he comes up, and he's like standing over me here, and he's like, hey man, yeah, like, we got you. Like, don't worry, I just gotta cut up your camis. I'm gonna cut up your leg, and like, I just gotta see the wound, and we'll take care of you. And I was like, thanks guys, like, this is great. And so I'm laying there, like I said, talking to the guy with my legs getting, you know, worked on. And I can remember his name, but once again, I don't want to say it. But anyway, the sergeant that came to help me, he come up, starts cutting my leg. He's like, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine. And then he gets to where the gunshot wound is, and he goes, oh. Just the, oh. Like, I was just like, fuck me. Like, what, man? Like, what? Oh, fuck. Like, it's obviously it's bad, but like, I can't see it, you know? Like, disarray starts to happen a little bit at this point. So the guy that was holding me, for what I'm told, once again, like, no knock on him, the dude was just in Afghanistan, I guess, like, sees my leg and starts having like a little bit of PTSD from when he was in Afghanistan. Can't blame him, you know? And so we start like kind of consoling each other. I was like, no man, like, I ain't gonna die, like, we're good, we're good. Like, and then I don't recall, he must have did it, but I believe the sergeant put a tourniquet on my leg. Like, I remember more of this conversation happening, but like, that was the whole thing we were trying to accomplish, was to stop me from bleeding to death. So he must have took like his martial art belt out that we all had to wear, get your own color, and like wrapped it around my leg, and like twisted it tight. I'm guessing. I weirdly don't remember the tourniquet. It may not have happened for all I know, which would make the next part show up. So once again, I'm kind of back in this view. Best handhold ever, right? So my like right hand's holding this chaplain protector guy, and next thing I know is there's a fucking sergeant. I think he's a sergeant major, a first sergeant, a guy with a lot of fucking rank on this thing is over top of me. I don't know where he came from either, So I brought up that there's this sergeant major shows up, and I'm like, I don't know where he came from. I had found out later on that he was with other higher ups, and I'm pretty sure that pistol range that I thought was behind me was like brand new, and they were showing it off about how cool and new and safe it was. So you have all these bigwigs behind me, and I'm getting my dumb ass shot outside. And he's just standing over top of us, and he's like, "We gotta get you out of here." I'm like, okay. Normally you'd be like, "Yes, Sergeant Major." I didn't care. I was dying, right? So I was just like, "Yeah, sounds great." And so he picks me up with, I think it's the sergeant that tourniquet me, and we I couldn't get myself off the ground. Like, they picked me up and like shoulder carried me, and so turns out. I'm like hung up like between them like this, and they're like carrying me, like kind of like this way, I guess, like holding on to me, and we're going towards what turns out to be his car. Apparently, I don't know if he drove up. I don't know if he pulled the car around. I have no idea. But his car is somewhere nearby by assumingly the road. That's the direction we hopped. And hopped is the word because I had to fucking hop while they did it. And my leg was fucking shot above the knee. And so this shit was like just kind of fucking mangled hanging. That didn't look like that. I didn't get fucking blown up. But like fucking not connected here. And so we're hopping, and every fucking hop, I just feel like a... So, like, honestly, the worst pain of the whole time rivaled to another moment. I don't know, I can't honestly say, but the first, the gunshot hurt a lot, and then I think, like, my nervous system took over, and, like, it hurt, but I wasn't moving also, so, like, I'd never broken a bone before either. I broke my femur. I should probably, like, fill that into, like, because I was kneeling, I was in, like, a kneel. Kind of, my left knee was up, and I think my right one was like kind of like this. So it came in, and like I have a scar like right here, and then it came in. You've got like your femur that comes in, right? And then like it attaches to your tibia and comes down. That's my left leg. So you got your fibula like here. It fucking broke my femur right about here, and then. The 5.56 round, what it's made to do is it's made to bounce. So it like tumbles a little bit. It doesn't like, so 7.62, which is like the AK round and stuff, is a little bit like bigger. And it's made to fucking just like punch right through. Like our fucking 5.56, it fucking tumbles. This little fucking thing was like, and then fucking came out the backside of my thigh. Turns out they found the bullet behind me somewhere. I really wish I could have got it. I really wish I could have. I did not. But anyway, if that gives you an idea. So, while we're hopping, this is all fucking snapped apart here. Not snapped, exploded. Exploded apart. And sometimes I'm surprised I have a leg, to be honest. But anyway, we're hopping to his car, and it's a good 15, 20, 30 yards. I don't remember. It's a long way. He like opens up the door, this like sergeant major, and he's like, fucking like, climb up in there. So he's got like this, why can I draw the wrong layer? He's got this door open. He like throws me up in it. So I'm like laying here, right? Laying here, disheveled. My right foot's in here. And my right leg's like here. My left leg's like here. He's like, get in. And I'm like, I pull my right leg up, which is fine. My left leg doesn't come. So he like grabs my left leg and just fucking throws it in his car. Top three for painful moments. And he slams the door, and away we go. So, once again, I mentioned before, like, base isn't huge. So, like, this happened somewhere over here. Here's, like, the road. I want to say the road, like, went this way. Main gate's, like, somewhere over here. There's some, like, I don't know, barracks or something over here. But it's like maybe a quarter mile this way. And then there's the hospital, the Navy hospital. Actually, technically, there's like the E clubs like right here first. And then I think there's like a hotel or something you can rent. And then the hospital's over here. And then like our shopping centers and stuff are over there. So he fucking starts flying. We're rolling up to the hotel, rolling up to the Navy hospital, fucking fast and in a hurry. Actually, while we were driving, an ambulance drove by the other way because someone did manage to call for the hospital 911 or whatever. I think it was backwards, 119 to come get us. So, I mean, I don't know what they found when they got there, but I was going the other way. When we arrived, I don't know, make a quick. There's like the emergency, right? Like back door kind of thing here. Doesn't really matter because there's two corpsmen hanging out here with a fucking I drew boobs. With a fucking like gurney, you know? I don't know, I'll draw a gurney. Something like that probably. To like getting ready to transition me. Like as soon as we get there, they throw the door open. They're like, here he is. And they like throw me on the gurney. You would think that I'm going to go into the hospital, but I'm not. So turns out we are ill-equipped to deal with gunshot wounds because, well, here's the kicker. We don't get shot in Japan. And so they are instead going to put me in the back of a ambulance and we are going to go find help, right? So these two corpsmen, one's the driver, one guy's hanging out with me, and then the most beautiful creature I've ever fucking seen in my life. She may have not even been there for all I know. I imagine like Mercy from like Overwatch when she like flies down and saves someone.
We are compassion.
Kind of imagine that. She was a beautiful, beautiful redhead flight surgeon, like tight fucking green flight suit on, just long hair for some reason, which doesn't even, maybe I made her up. I don't know, but like, just gorgeous. She just like hops in with us. And so I'm in the back of an ambulance. That's like the back door. This beautiful creature is sitting like right here. I'm like posted up here on the gurney, right? And then homie's over here. We'll give her some red pink hair just to, that's not pink. What are you doing here? I guess maybe it was like long for like most girls wear their hair up. But anyway, so we're sitting here and we're in the back of an ambulance now. We have to go out and pray to God that the Japanese hospital in our small little town of Iwakuni can take care of me because we are ill-equipped to do so. We're flying. We're going, I don't know, fast, right? Because I'm, once again, I don't even remember if I have a tourniquet on right now. I'm not dead, so I must. This guy over here, I don't know if he was dumb or was trying to be funny, but I remember him specifically saying, hey, do you guys know how to use a Japanese IV? Because I don't. As he's like about to stab me with it. And I just remember going, like, coming on lit, like, you stupid motherfucker, what the fuck are you saying? And then I'm looking at her and I'm like, I'm sorry, ma'am, not to swear in front of you. And she just kind of laughs. And I remember once again, her like taking it and like putting it in my arm. I said, there could have been like angels singing and stuff. I don't remember. After this, I remember us flying because we're going fast. Hit every bump. I swear to God, every pothole we found on the way, just boom, just shaking my leg, boom. It was like a combination of me screaming and being like, I'm sorry, ma'am. Boom. Fuck. I'm sorry, ma'am. Like just back and forth. Oh my God, man. I was ready to die for. One thing about this like part of the story too is she, the flight surgeon offered to have somebody call my parents and tell them what happened. I remember right away saying, fuck no. Like if someone that's not me, like gunnery sergeant something calls and is like, bam, like, you're so much like my mom's going to die. like that cannot happen, you know, like I'm gonna make it somehow or another. But I remember specifically that like being a thing was like, we can call your parents for you. No. Anyway, so we pull up. Yeah, this is already an hour story. Yeah, I thought this would be long. It's the drawing that's got me. We pull up to another hospital, and this one, man, when they rolled me out on the gurney, I'm like looking up and it's not, well, it could have been that. It's more like green, man. It's like this gross pea green color. Fucking, where am I drawing? Like metal, it's like metal roofing stuff, you know, like the stuff that they make like pole barns and shit out of. I don't know why I'm drawing it short. It went all the way down. Like, cause I'm looking up, right? Like my view wasn't the doors. It was just this going across. And they're pushing me through and I'm looking at this stuff, man. And this is all like just rotted. Like it's just disheveled and it needs paint. And like, I'm going to fucking get gangrene and lose my leg here if I don't lose it already, right? They push me into what looks like a waiting room. Because it is a large room with fucking people waiting in it. I don't know how Japanese hospitals work, but there's just people fucking sitting all over the place. Just all over. It's a big ass room too. Like it's, there's like rows of these people, right? And like, who's the most exciting person in the room? It's me. Fucking, they're all like locked in. Like, what is happening? You know, like I can't blame them. I would be too. And so they push me in, and I swear to God, I don't understand this. Like, this is how I remember it. And you can give me shit if this is like, because you're like, well, he probably doesn't remember because he hurt. You're probably right, because it doesn't make sense to me, but this is how I remember this next part going down. So they push me in the middle of this fucking room, and I can hear, like, I don't know who, someone with rank behind me, like fighting with our interpreter and the Japanese like surgeons and stuff over this way. Like they're over here somewhere fighting, and I'm on this gurney here. And I swear to God, I'm in the middle of this fucking room too, right? And so while this is happening, okay, this is like two-part story. So they're trying to convince the Japanese to save my life because they can't do it. The Japanese have this weird rule or something with insurance where if they don't know they can save you, they don't want to do it. Because they don't have guns in Japan, they don't really do that kind of surgery. And so there's this brawl happening over here of like, just fucking stop him from dying. Like, we'll pay you whatever they want. Meanwhile, I'm on the gurney here. Surrounded by people from what I remember. But very quickly I get distracted because I'm laying like my gurney, right? This is my gurney. I'm laying here, my legs out this way. Here's my boot. Here's my leg. I could have just went down a little farther. Here's my right leg. Why is it off the gurney? It's not off the gurney. I'm trying to be quick. Give me a second. It goes to the end. This actually worked out pretty well because, you know, I got my boots on. I'm wearing my cool boots called the Danners. They're not standard issue. You pay for them, but they're very comfortable. They look kind of dumb. They have this really like fat like heel that goes around them, but that makes them like super comfortable. And they have a weird lace system where it actually comes to like your toe, where like most boots like come to like the bend in your foot, you know, like they actually go past it. And so you have like this crissy-crossy pattern that goes all the way up your leg. This matters. Just bear with me. I don't remember a tourniquet, and this is why like this whole thing is just weird. So I don't know why I haven't died yet. Like, anyway, we're gonna say my knee's about there. So it's just blood here, right? And there's sexy flight surgeon lady here. And then there's Japanese cute nurse here, right? And I think the Navy guy was over here too, around me. He was there somewhere. She goes, "We're gonna have to cut your clothes off." And I'm like, that makes sense. They gotta like assess me, right? And so this Japanese girl, man, she just starts grabbing my boot and pulling on it. Just pulling on it. And every time she pulls it, like, it creates this distraction of my broken bone. And like, I don't know why she won't untie my shoes. Like, and I'm like yelling at her. I'm like, just untie my boot or cut off my boot. Like, just cut it. And she's just pulling on it and pulling on it. And it hurts so fucking bad. And then right when I'm about to lose my shit, it pops off. And so there's it becomes my bare foot. This one, clearly not an issue. They take it off. And then they cut up my pant leg to show the wound. And they actually, I think they cut up both legs. You know what? Sit tight. I'll show you. Oh, I remember specifically too, one thing about this one was I was getting very tired. I remember like laying here and kind of like coming in and out. Well, not coming in and out. I wasn't like falling out, but I remember like, and my guys like, I think I just want to take a nap, and they'd be like, no, don't go to sleep. And I'm like, oh, I'm pretty tired though. Like, kind of just want to take a nap. So like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm probably pretty fucking close to dying a couple times. So, here's the camis I was wearing. It took me months to get these back from NCIS. As you can see, so there's my name on my back pocket. I never wash these, so this stinks. This is my blood. If you can see the dark spots, that's my blood. This is where they were like, this would be, my name's on your right pocket, so you're looking forward, like, they cut open my whole leg. Like, it's around. Oh, can you see the dark? That's my blood. Like, that's it, man. Like, it's crazy. Right leg though. So we just took off my pants. My right leg. Probably what happened is, I'm guessing at this point, when they've cut my pants up enough, they probably were able to like slide them down and around and off my foot, because I couldn't get off this damn thing. So I don't know how it came off of me, but I'm sitting there in my G-darn boxers in this room with everyone's looking at me because they don't want to admit me to the hospital, bleeding on the table with whatever my leg looks like at this point, with tons of Japanese guys very confused at why I'm now half naked in there. But now here's the kicker. Sexy flight surgeon goes, we have to cut all of them off. All of your clothes off. And I say the only thing that I'm really proud of this whole story is I look at her and I go, ma'am, just remember, it's cold in here. And she smirks, and they proceed to cut off my boxers. And now I am bare-ass naked in the middle of this fucking room with countless people looking at me right about the time that I'm stark naked in this room. They must have decided that they're going to do something for me, because we start moving and we start going down hallways, which are once again full of more Japanese people wondering what the hell this is happening here. I'm gonna piece this in here. I forgot to say. Here's the underwear I was wearing when they cut them off. I mean, there's my blood. Like, it's, they straight up just cut them off me. You can tell from the way they're ripped. Like, it's, you know. I keep this all on. This is my McMap belt. I told you I was working on this is like the second level. When you're in boot camp, you become a tan belt, which just means it's like enough to get your ass kicked. This is the second level. I got this pretty early on. And then I was working on my green belt, which most people consider like the minimum you should be at, for combat at least, is a green belt. I would have tested out, I think that Saturday after this happened. So like I was like a week from getting my belt up, which after all this happened, hard to imagine I didn't do. Actually, I was looking through, I've got this bag that I keep all my keepsakes in. This is the bag that the NCIS had. And here's actually, be careful, but actually on here is the dates. And there's blood on them too. It's funny because it must have been, these are probably my cargo pocket, but these have these are my orders. Oh, one thing I want to add in maybe at some point is if someone wants to call BS on all of this, which I don't know fucking why you would. I got no blood on everything. I actually have I have the NCSI report too. They push me into a room. I'm still quite certain I'm going to die, but I haven't died yet, so, you know, anything's up. You know, who knows what's going to happen here. And I remember laying, there's this Japanese guy here. He's trying to talk to me. And he's got this, like, mask, right? And it's probably got a tube out of it that goes somewhere. And he's like trying to say something to me, but like, I don't know what it is. And he takes it and he puts it over my face and then he pulls it away. And he puts it over my face and pulls it away. And I'm assuming he's trying to say like, come back from 10, you know, or come back from 100, whatever. And he's doing it. And like, nothing's happening. I'm like, Jesus Christ, man. Like, what the hell's like, I'm fucking alert. And then I pass out. I thought I was allergic to it and I was like, not gonna like pass out, but I did. I got really, really, really lucky, apparently. Well, of many different ways. But I got the one surgeon that has treated a gunshot wound once, like 14 years ago or something. And so that is ultimately how they decided they were going to like do a surgery on me. And so the next pictures, I'm not going to try and draw. I have pictures of them. I'm going to show, well, you know what? I'm having fun drawing it. I'll put the real picture up there and then I'm drawing it anyway. So I wake up the next day in my hospital bed and I'm not going to like super draw it out, but I'm out on this bed and it's small. I don't know. It's just your typical hospital room. I can't say it was like anything fucking crazy compared to another one. You know, I'm laying out. My legs are stretched out. The crazy thing is I got this thing called X-Fix, external fixator, I think. But it's like a thing that like sticks into your bones. They like screw it in. And it like helps like hold the bone together, right? And so this wouldn't be long enough because that'd be like my knee. So like my foot would be here, whatever. You'll see the picture, but you have this external fixator that is attached to my leg and it's holding my bones best to pieces, the best they can. And they kept me from dying. I was told later on that the bullet just barely missed my artery and that's why I didn't die. The shitty thing about the next like 70 some hours, I think it was like 2 days. So it wasn't 70 hours, like we're gonna call it 48. I don't know what it was. Day and a half, 2 days, something like that. Kind of blurs together. This stupid thing on my leg. And I've got this very kind Japanese nurse who comes in with, I shit you not, this fucking sheet of a happy face, a slightly less happier face, you know, the, you know, the, face, the like, where on this chart are you? You're right. Obviously, I'm on this page over here most of the time. They have this interesting thing where they believe pain is part of the healing process, and so they allow me basically Motrin 2 times a day, 12 hours apart. Another fun little like tidbit I found out last year taking a pharmacy class. This is like, like 14 years later, that they're starting to like poo-poo anti-inflammatories now. So like rest, ice, compression, they changed it to peace and love. And if you take anti-inflammatories, it could slow down the markers your body releases that then starts the rest of the healing process. So, you know, the Japanese were onto something. It just was very sucky at the time. If you can imagine, this does next to nothing for my pain. This thing is incredibly painful, and not only is it painful, it's heavy. And it's sticking out the left side of my leg, and it is pulling to the left, right? Because it's heavy. And so my whole foot wants to rotate left. And when this thing is laying on the table, it is now pushing back into my fucking leg. And good God, just terrible, terrible pain. And so it took me hours for me and her to like communicate like how to prop my leg. Eventually we figured out like if we could just put pillows here to like get my foot to face this way, like the weight countered and it would like sit okay. But that was pretty awful. So I remember us debacling that. I wake up. So Skype has, well, I don't know if Skype is still a thing, but Skype was a video calling thing back then. And you could buy a phone number back home and internet phone call home. And that's what a lot of people did. So I had a phone number from my hometown in which I would call my mother and father to, like, you know, just whenever calling. It's weird. Japan's 12 hours apart ahead of you. So like it was hard to call. I had to stay up late or wake up early to catch them on the other side. And so I called home, and I think this is probably early morning the day after I got shot. I'm not positive, but I believe it was like evening time for them. But I call home, and my mom always played computer games like on this website called Pogo, where you play cards and stuff. And I call home, and she answers, and I'm like, "Hey, Mom." She's like, "Hey, honey, like, how you doing?" And I'm like, "Oh, you know, like, are you sitting?" She's like, "Why?" And I was like, "Are you sitting down?" She's like, "Nate, what happened?" And I'm like, "All right, well, listen, I'm talking to you, so I'm okay." And she's like, "What happened?" And I was like, "I got shot today. I'm really tired. I just wanted to let you know I'm okay, and I'm not gonna die." And I remember her just saying, "Oh my God, I love you. I'll talk to you as soon as I can." And I hung up. I was exhausted. And so I fall back asleep. Another interesting thing that happened was I woke up again, and so I still had my cell phone on me. They gave it to me. I don't know. Somebody gave it to me. I still had it with me. I opened up Facebook, and I found Dipshit on there. I don't remember how I learned his name, but like it was easy because everyone's like, "My new home's Iwakuni." So like you just like find their name, and it's like, you know, in the US there might be tons of them. There's tons of dipshits, right? But like there's only so many dipshits in that local area. So it was easy to find them. And I remember messaging him, and I was like, "Yo, like, I think you shot me today." And I remember you like put in like, "Oh my God, man, I'm so sorry." Like fucking this and that. It was a short conversation. It was like 10 messages back and forth, like 5 each. And we were like, "No, like," I don't remember. It was like weird because I'm such a passive, like just a passive dude. I fucking hate conflict. So I was just like, "Yeah, no, it's like, it's all right. Like, I'm not gonna die. Like, fucking, you gotta, like, you know, owe me some beers when I get back." And it was like, "Ah, yeah." And then the conversation ended there. Like, you can put it on one page. In fact, I did. I had to print it for NCIS to prove that, like, I didn't pay this guy to shoot me or something stupid. This next, like, day, 2, 3 days, whatever it may be, is a lot of me being in a lot of pain, falling back asleep, and being in pain again. It's pretty much the cycle. It goes. I had some friends visit me. If I have the photo where I look like fucking like death with my buddies with me, I'll post it or show it right here. But I'm just like holding on, getting through. This sucks. Like not holding on like dying, but like mentally, like it's just fucking awful. Turns out the Americans are ready to take me because the Japanese have determined I'm stable enough to move now. Like I said, it's like 2 days later, give or take 12 hours. And we're gonna fly me to Okinawa because Okinawa has a base called, oh boy. Okay, I'm sorry. I can't. I feel like it was called Camp Lester, but I could be messing up. There's like Foster, Schwab, Hansen, Kadena was the Air Force base. But anyway, like this one base was pretty much just a Navy hospital. And so they're gonna fly me to this base in Okinawa to get actual treatment, right? Or not actual, they saved my life. That's to get further treatment. And so this rather big Navy, I don't remember the rank differences because their officers are not quite the same ranked. I think he was like a major. The Gold Oak Leaf comes in and he's like, "Don't worry, brother, I got you." And he starts throwing just pills in my mouth, man. Just, I don't even know. But I'm taking all of them. I don't even care what they're doing. And they roll me out of the hospital. I do not remember the ride back. I don't know. I'm assuming by ambulance I went back. I remember waking up in another hospital room back at that one that I originally got taken to. They wouldn't take me in on base. And so I wake up and they tell me like, hey, we're taking you to Okinawa to, you know, for a treatment. Like, you're going to be gone a while. Is there anything from your room you want? We're also going to send your buddy, shit, I got to change his name too. We're going to send your buddy Frank with you, okay? You know, his job is to help you while you're gone. He's going to go with you. And I was like, you know, like, I don't know, meanwhile, like, be cool to have like my Game Boy and some clothes and like stuff like that. And so Frank goes to my room, gets some of this stuff, and then comes and meets me at the place. Meanwhile, there's this lady called the Fro that comes and meets me. And the Fro is the family readiness officer. I don't know really what her job is, but that day her job was, well, she asked me, is there anything I could have or anything I wanted? And I haven't eaten in like 3 days. And I was like, I would love some Taco Bell because there's Taco Bell in base. And she's like, you got it. And so she went and got me some Taco Bell, some Crunch Wraps. That's what I always liked. And then she brought back donuts. So I've got my Taco Bell, I eat it. I got my box of donuts. I got my bag with some clothes in it and my Game Boys or whatever. And then Frank's with me and we're going. They're like, woke up, we're going. So they push us out into the flight line. I can draw this next picture. I have this one in my head. Kind of comes up. I'm not a good artist, guys. I don't know. There's a black hole, the butt of the C-130. It's like, there's a wing kind of, maybe a plane out the back. But we're on like the flight line now, right? Like, this isn't quite the angle it is, but I don't know how to draw better than that. But anyway, they're gonna transport me onto the C-130 to transfer me to Okinawa. And so they're out here, I don't know, doing whatever the fuck they're doing. And I'm sitting on a gurney. And here, there's my sweet little booties. And over here is my box of donuts. So, I'm hungry because I haven't eaten in 2 days and I'm fucking high on drugs. So fuck, sue me. I'm over here trying to fucking reach for my donuts. Just swipey. I can't fucking get it. And you know what? All these motherfuckers out here are watching me do it. So this will come back later, but I didn't realize that this would be such a momentous occasion of me trying to grab donuts while high on a gurney. It's not where I get my story from, but it comes back later. So I lied. I didn't actually come back to this. The reason why I brought up this dumb little story was funny is, so months after this happened, I'm back in physical therapy at the hotel or the hospital, like at my base, and I'm checking into one of my things, and some guy goes, "Oh, you're the donut guy." And I was just like, I'm the only person to probably ever get shot in, well, recent Japan, and I'm the donut guy. So that's that story. So anyway, eventually they're ready to fucking take me somewhere. And so they push me into the C-130. I don't know. We just need curtains for the side. It's not curtains, but like we're in. And like the C-130 is kind of like this giant empty fucking space. It kind of depends, I think, on the type of C-130. This picture changed how I want perspective wise. I guess we're looking down more now. But they put me, there's like, so what it is, it's this, like on the sides, it's cargo net that just kind of like goes down. I think there's a couple levels of it. So there's like 3 stacks up, and they just like throw me here on my gurney here. They also tell me that there's a crazy motherfucker over here also laying out, but he's like tied down because he's like kind of fucking crazy and sedated. And we have to take him to Korea first for some reason. He's got an armed guard. This guy's got a gun. Pew. Yep, they're watching him. I think he might have been 2 guys. I don't know. He was fucking crazy. There was something about this dude. I never got to learn why, but we had to go to not North Korea. He wasn't that crazy. We had to go to South Korea, drop him off for some reason, and then we were going to Okinawa. Anyway, I don't know. I slept most of the time. I assume, oh fuck, what I call him, Frank. Frank probably just slept over here too. But I have no idea how long the flame was. It had to be a few hours though. We go to the hospital. I get admitted. I don't remember a lot of notable stuff in this time frame. I get admitted to, I thought it was called Camp Lester. But anyway, I'm in a hotel room, and I stay here for like, not a hotel room, a hospital room. There's like my bed, the door's over here. There's a chair, like sofa over here. Kind of looks like the thinking chair. And then like my box of like beeping doodads and like my, I don't know, the stuff that's like hooked into me. You know, I'm sitting here. My leg is fucking like wrapped. Oh, so I don't recall. I blame the drugs. During this time, I don't remember how fast I got into surgery. It was pretty quick. The next thing I really remember is waking up and I have this giant, it's not a cast. It's just like ace wrapped to shit. Because they had done the surgery now and they ended up putting a rod through my femur. So like, I don't really know. From the explanation is, so you have like the end of your femur and then it comes out. I had like broken like here. And so they had like, so I've got like a total knee kind of surgery. They came through, drilled in and like I have a rod through my leg now. And it's kind of crazy because it actually allowed me a lot of mobility quickly. Like instead of like just putting me in a brace and letting this to like fruit together, like it grew into the like with the rod. So I just have this crazy bandage on, which after a few days felt really gross because like my leg was weeping and they didn't like change the bandages that much. That felt like to me, I never got infected or nothing, but like I just felt gross. I just hated it. I was so happy when that came off. My fucking fat sausage leg came out, and I'll show you a picture of that when it's appropriate. But I'm here, I think 10 days. And I remember, I think there was another chair like here in the corner. Frank would come and like hang out and they would like bring me food and the food was like bomb, man. Like it was like fucking like salmon and shit. But all I could eat was like the Ensure because my belly had like shrunk so much. I lost a lot of weight in this too. And so I would eat my Ensure and then Frank would get my fish or whatever the crazy it was. And then like, because I was in bed and I couldn't do anything, Frank, I'd be like, dude, go, like we had friends, like other orgies and stuff we met. I was like, dude, like go hang out. So like his job is to like hang out with me, but like I got nurses and stuff. So he got to go like hang out with friends and stuff for a few days. It was actually a cool gig for him. I had a TV over here too. I became a baseball fan because I watched a lot of baseball. Didn't even matter what. It was just the only thing that was on fucking TV over there. Japan loves baseball for some reason. But during this time, I had a really cute nurse. Also, I got, you notice the theme? She was also a redhead. Shorter red hair. But I would do anything for this girl too. I was on morphine at this time. So I could push a button. It was like a little button. If I pushed it, a call light would come on and then cute nurse would come in and give me morphine. I never got told no. Never once did I get told I took it too much. I don't know why I couldn't just, like, it just didn't have the ability to. But anyway, that was like how that worked. I wake up, I'd hurt, boom, hit that, she'd knock me out again. So the funny thing about morphine too, at least for me, was so when she would come in and give me morphine, I would feel like I would just, if I remember right, like I just got really cold and then I'd fall asleep. I'd either get really hot or really cold, one or the other, and then I'd fall asleep. And that was just like my experience with it. But from talking to other people, I didn't fall asleep. I'd be talking about all kinds of crazy shit and stuff. So that's kind of fun. Don't remember any of those conversations, but I'm sure they were entertaining for some. I remember one time she had come in, like I said, I'd do anything for this girl too. I'm in bed and she comes in. We'll draw at this angle. There's a bed here. And I've got my arm kind of like this, laying off the side. And she comes in and she's like, hey Nate, yeah, I've got this student that just needs to like practice IVs. I'm like, yeah, well, you know, I'm like 20. I'm like fit. I was like, might as well, got to learn somewhere, right? And she's like, hey, thanks. Like, I appreciate it. And so he comes in and he's like, hey, buddy, like, I want you to know, like, I got straight A's in school. I practiced really well on the dummies. Like, I'm confident I can do this. I'm like, good for you, bud. And he comes in with this fucking needle. This fucking needle going to fucking, like, do it. And he is just fucking shaking like a leaf, man. This thing is just fucking vibrating. And I remember just shooting her a glance, like, really? this is how you do me? And I remember looking at her, I was like, can I have morphine when this is done? She's like, absolutely. And I don't remember really him actually like poking my arm. But when I woke up the next day, this motherfucker was purple. I got jacked up on that thing. Unless I'd do anything for that girl. Bless her heart. Whoever she is out there. Love you. I'm going to physical therapy at this time. I have a couple people that come in. I know I was very rude to them because one, I was very much painful. I was on drugs. We hate physical therapy when you come in as a patient. But they would come up and they would stand me up because we have to get me up and going. I've been in bed for like 10 days. And I remember the first time I stood up, I thought my heart was going to explode. Like literally just the act of being stood up was so taxing on my body. It felt like I just sprinted marathons, you know? And we would do little just little like we would stand up on the edge of the bed, you know? And then we would also like pivot to that little chair that was over here, you know, the other one. So like she would make me like transfer over to that one if I wanted to eat, so I could eat from there just to get out of the bed. Bed sores and stuff probably too. I believe at this point I'm finally about ready to get discharged. I know another time it was kind of funny. I'm sitting in the bed, baseball's on up here, you know. And a bunch of guys came in the room. There's like, I don't know. Let's say 5 of them just to make a nice picture. There was like 5 or 6 of them though. And they're all like they're all officers, probably from NCIS. I don't really know. But they're all at the foot of my bed and they're like, hey, we got to ask you some questions. You know, we just got to know what happened. And I was like, yeah, I mean, I'll tell you the best I can. And so I'm sitting here and I've got my knees tucked up kind of, right? And I've got like my gown draped here. And this guy specifically, I remember him, this guy specifically. So they're asking me like, hey man, you know, like, did you know this guy? Did you have beef with him? And I'm like, no, I know who this guy was. I've never met him. I don't happen. I don't know how he got a bullet. I don't got anything. And this whole time, this dude's like shifty-eyed, like looking over there, kind of eyes just fucking doing whatever they want. Looking uncomfortable. And finally, I'm like, I think it was a staff sergeant. I was like, staff sergeant, like, what's wrong? Like, what is wrong? I see you're uncomfortable. And he's like, I didn't want to say anything, but I can see your balls. so this guy got to stare at my nuts for half an hour while we talked about how I got shot, but I'll never forget this moment too. And I was just like, oh, Jesus, you could just say something and just like kick this down a little bit and it was fine. But it's probably what they looked like to him. Hairy balls right in front of him. But that's like my last like big story of that. Eventually I get sent to a base down the road. It's called Foster, I think. They're basically like an airport. It's just like an airport with a movie theater. But there's a barracks room that's got a handicap room like on the first floor. And I was walking with a walker at the time. And so I could get like in there with the help of Frank. And so I could be out of the hospital room. And then I was going to go to outpatient physical therapy, which is how I do my job now. The room's very interesting. So it's like a big room with a conjoined bathroom. And then Frank gets a room here like this. I think the door's out here. My bed's in my corner. And then there's like, so this is the bathroom. It's like a big ass walk-in bathtub. And then, or shower. And then there's a door here. There's a little cubby with a shitter right here, the wall. And then there's like the sink here. And then it connects to his room. This is important because of things. So anyway, I stay in here probably like 2 weeks, a week maybe, probably about a week. Named Frank helps me go to the store and get like clothes and stuff because I don't have like much. And I shrunk a lot too. I go to therapy. He helped me get the therapy because he had like a driver would come pick me up and take me to outpatient therapy. And I remember I'd come home and I would sit on this bed and I had my movies with me, that or I bought them, and there was a TV here. And if I wasn't, I would lay here and watch the movie Friends with Benefits. I don't know why. That one with Mila Kunis and was a JT in it. I saw that movie so many times. If it was on I'm pretty sure I had the movie. It just was like always on rewind. So I'd watch that. And I would more or less like cry myself to sleep every night because my leg wouldn't fucking bend. I had like, I don't know, like this much wiggle room. Like I couldn't straighten it all the way out, but I couldn't like bend it either. And I remember like grabbing it with my other leg and just like trying to drag it back and just being so fucking frustrated because my leg wouldn't fucking bend anymore after that. Well, what they did to it. So I'm going to PT for it. And I make pretty good progress pretty quickly. My PT guys, I had an officer that was like the PT, and then I had a petty officer that was like the PTA, which is what I do now. His name, fuck it, I'm gonna say his name. He was awesome. His name was Kirk. My PTA guy. If you're out there somewhere, man, yeah, you're fucking my hero, dude. He worked with me the whole time. Not the whole time. The officer, I can't remember his name right now. I can picture him. I can't remember him. This guy, he's the one that worked me, he was mean to me, but he was like my homie, especially because I was like, so like kind of quickly after I could kind of take care of myself, they took Frank from me pretty quick. And so I found myself alone. And I'll tell you, like with this going on and not having anybody, like this happened more and more. This happened more and more. Thank God I couldn't get booze yet because I would have drank myself stupid. But I remember going to therapy and him just beating on me and making me do this stuff. And I'm like, this sucks. I'm not getting any better. Like, I remember him, like, checking up on me. Like, I was kind of pissed off about things. But I remember him, like, he actually, like, got my cell phone and, like, checked on me, like, mentally and stuff. And I'll never forget that, man. Like, it was huge. It probably literally saved my life. I'm not gonna lie, I was super depressed at this point. Cause also like this story is like, it's stupid, but like, man, I was super embarrassed by it. Like everyone fucking knew who I was too. I told myself I was gonna change the Marine Corps, and overnight I became a celebrity who everyone knew my story, but no one knew who I was. So like they were talking about me, like with me right there, but they didn't know it was me somehow. It was weird. But I remember being like super frustrated, especially with, so the bathroom, right? They got this big old shower. The bathroom has this fucking thing. Here's the toilet, right? Fucking toilet. And then there's the wall right here. And then there's the sink, right? Boop, boop. Sink. Well, you know what this wall's not good for? Fucking people who can't not fucking bend their legs. So fucking like I can't bend it to sit on the goddamn toilet. And so for me to poop, I had to like hold myself up and cast my legs off to the side and then poop with height. I had to airdrop poops into the toilet. And I remember one of the proudest days was when I could bend myself enough to like sit on this like a normal person. I want to back up just a little bit because I went down memory lane tangent. So during the time that Frank was with me, we would go, like I said, to go shopping and get stuff. And this is where my name comes in. I'll post the picture. It's going to take me a minute to find it. But there's a picture of me. We would go to the store. And because I couldn't walk, I could use like things as I would ride. It's the little buggy thing, you know, the little fucking, like, cart, right? Little fucking handles here. There's me. So happy. We would ride the little buggy thing. And there's a picture of me reaching for batteries. It's always me reaching for stuff. But for my Game Boy, and Frank took a photo of it, and it says RoboRyb needed batteries or something like that. And ever since then, everyone called me either RoboRyb or RoboRyb. Okay, so I was slightly mistaken. Unless I just can't find the picture I want, but it's a picture of these batteries here with a caption that says, actually, it says that we're getting food for me, I believe. I'll put it here. I got Blackout's name, but yeah, so correction. I guess that was a long way to get to that story. The journey's the point anyway, but that's where my name comes from. I want to go a little bit farther with the story, so those that I hope you enjoyed the story. It took me 1 month, 29 days to be able to stand again. Kirk bust his ass, man. It was awesome. I remember coming into therapy. I think I have a post. I remember coming into therapy. I can remember it. There was like stairs. Like you had to like kind of go, I think there was like something, you had to go up something. And then there's like the room and then like the PT, there was like a desk here and we always did PT over here. And I remember the fucking YMCA by the Village People was playing when I hobbled into therapy that day on my walker. And me and Kirk were balancing single leg stance. So just putting weight, basically weight, actually it wasn't even that, we were doing weight shifting. And I was able to weight shift my whole weight for like a fraction, like 1/9 of a second, probably. And I remember looking at Kirk and being like, man, like I'm gonna walk today. And he's like, all right, cool, wait a minute, I gotta go do something. And he's like, and if you fucking do it without me, I'm gonna beat your ass. And I was like, fine, I won't do it without you. And so he walked away, and of course I did it without him. He fucking, I was just practicing like shifting my weight onto my one leg and then capturing on my right. Like I'd shift over, come back, shift over, and eventually it became a little hop. Back, forward. And then eventually I got to the point where I could like hold on my weight for half a second and I could do like this little like hop to kind of motion. And I just remember he came back and I'm doing this little like hop to in a circle. It's like, I don't know. This circle's probably like 2 feet round. Like it really was in a circle when he came back. And I remember him saying, I'm so fucking mad at you, but I'm so fucking proud of you at the same time. Because if I had fallen, he would have gotten in so much trouble, man. But when I had gotten able to walk, it was weird. It was like almost immediately they were like, all right, cool, we're ready to send him back to Japan, to mainland Japan. And then I did more therapy there. This story could go on for a very long time. It's where like I debated the draw of my life and that kind of stuff. You know, I've got a real, I don't know what I want to say, a real personal take on mental health, because I went through the gambit, man. You know, between like depression and fucking lust, you know, like I was like trying to like cover up my depression with like thinking I liked certain people and like that kind of stuff, and then shit going on back home. Oh, I forgot to say during this time too, they asked if they wanted to fly my mom and dad out, but my mom was going through cancer treatments and my dad was working all shifts to try and pay for those cancer treatments. So I was like, no, like I'll go through therapy myself. Which, looking back, I denied my mom a flight to Japan. But she was undergoing cancer treatments, and my dad was working nonstop at the factory to pay for those treatments. So, and I was also, like I said, I was determined not to die. They had their things they had to do. I was going to do what I needed to do. And so that's, you know, like I said, I became pretty, like, even to this day, if you talk to like anyone like on the pistol ranges or the rifle range, they'll talk about me. They'll probably fuck up the story because it's been 10 plus years now, but they'll still talk about me, man. Like I really like the change that horseshoe thing. That doesn't happen anymore. Hard to believe. Probably shouldn't happen in the first place, but man, I drew a lot of pictures. This thing doesn't happen anymore. Now you're in a straight line. Hard to believe, right? So everybody would be shooting at the wall, if anything. Well, you would crisscross, I guess, technically. It's kind of crazy. Guy who shot me, he ended up getting court-martialed, I believe, and kicked out. It all came down on him. It was his fault ultimately, but it was a lot of people's fault. Like when you shoot at the range, they normally check you for brass and stuff, or make sure you're not sneaking bullets out, not taking anything out. So like they failed over there. How, like it just, I don't know. Like so many things went wrong to that day. To really like allow it to happen. It's like the $1 million wound. I'm kind of like,
Lieutenant Dan, I got you some ice cream.
James told me that this whole scenario played out a lot like Family Guy when Peter scraped his knee. I just laid there and just was, That's where I'll leave this video. It's almost 2 hours long, and post cut, we'll see. I drew a lot during that. That's how I got my name. Like I said, it was the next year after this was tough. It was a lot of, you know, chasing, trying to get back to health. I think I went to physical therapy for like another 6 months. They got me to a point where they couldn't treat me like anymore. Eventually they decided they wanted to retire me. So like in this span of time, you know, my career kind of changed overnight. I had to figure out what I was doing. My mom ended up passing away. Like it was a real struggle. It was a real life changer, I guess. You know, my experience with this whole thing, and also Petty Officer Kirk, really, I don't know if I said the reason I laughed about, because I always want to call him Captain Kirk, but like, it's why I chose physical therapy as my life afterwards. And I guess the last piece, you know, like the weird thing about the whole thing, like I said about how like was the day that this happened. I don't know if I want to say the day or not, but the day that this happened, I started my first day at physical therapy as a job 5 years later. So like sometimes, man, like, I don't know, much as you want to like fight uphill and shit, stuff happens for a reason, I guess. And I don't know what the fuck that reason is, but we're figuring it out. But hey, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you want me to work, I've told this story so many times. I tell this to physical therapy people all the time when they're like, oh, my ankle hurts. I'm like, well, listen, but not in a way to be like rude, but like try to encourage them. Like, you know, like shit can be pretty bad, but we can do a lot, you know, like nobody would know this happened to me if I wasn't telling them. They watch me walk. It's weak, but like no one would know. But if you want a long, I would like, I mean, it'd be fun to do a project, a long draw my life. I think it would be fun. If you guys want to know the story after, like the recovery, this was the funny part of the story, right? The depression part would be the next one. So if you guys want that, let me know. I wouldn't mind. Probably do some people good. Probably do me some good. But anyway, once again, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for all your donations last year for Thankmas and over the years. I mean, I said, it meant the world to me. Didn't get to change the world the way I kind of hoped I would, you know, in the Marine Corps. So the fact that we can do stuff like this helps lift me up a little bit these days. So once again, thanks so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.